It's the Reedie and Zee show. Reedie and Zee show. Reedie and Zee show. It's the Reedie and Zee show. Reedie and Zee show. It's the Reedie and Zee show. Reedie and Zee show. Reedie and Zee show.
Since the tampering period opened, free agency for the National Football League 2025-26 season, the Washington Commanders, are they winning free agency? Me and Z, we're going to tap into that, but we'll be right back.
It's the Reedie and Zee show. Reedie and Zee show. It's the Reedie and Zee show. Reedie and Zee show. Reedie and Zee show.
Happy Monday, bro. What it do?
Happy Monday, my brother. Monday Command, what it do? How y'all doing out there? Another week of the off season. Talk about our Washington Commanders, and today's show is titled "Commanders Are Winning Free Agency?" Question mark. Let's get right into it, bro.
So in the past week, the Commanders been active in free agency, trying to be strategic in the acquisitions that they made, the re-signings, the key developments, and today tackle Laremy Tunsil just went to the podium and spoke. I didn't have a chance to go look at that as of yet, but all of the guys, that they brought in, they came in. Kinlaw came in and they spoke. We got a lot of stuff up online to read about these new guys, and everybody. The first thing that they said when they signed here was they thought that the culture was set in place. They could see it from afar on the sidelines and through watching it on TV, and what not a better place to come. And many of them said that Dan Quinn is a leader of men. Everything we've been hearing, he's a coach that you want to run through a brick wall for. So with that being said, that's what led them here to Washington. But the title is Commanders Are Winning Free Agency. A lot of sites via Instagram or social media, media conglomerate CBS are saying we're A right now. I don't know if I necessarily feel that. I feel like we've brought some key things back in free agency, but I don't know. Maybe I'm the typical fan and I wanted another splash one or two. But we've done great thus far. But I feel like we need one or two more pieces to kind of put us over the hump as it relates to this free agency. What about you, bro?
Yeah, my sentiments are the same, and I'm gonna dig into that in a second. But I wanted to address. We talked about Tunsil. He actually was on. He did his interview today. He didn't go to the podium. He actually did it via stream. It looked like he was somewhere home or on a resort or somewhere. Just somewhere else. But he did a live interview, and some of the key things. When he addressed the media today, he said he think he can make a huge impact, pass protector and a damn good run blocker. He also mentioned he can be a mentor to the young guys. Some of the other things he said he's learned. He's not taking anything personal about being traded. He's been through the situation twice now. He was traded from Miami to Houston, and now Houston to us. And he appreciates the Texans organization and them giving him an opportunity, and just they actually let him know that they called him and notified him of the decision, so that he wasn't like blindsided or anything like that. And part of the reason that they said that they traded him because they wanted to keep their young core together. So they wanted to kind of get some draft assets as well as move some of their cap to kind of be able to re-sign guys. As you've seen today, they re-signed, was it Devin Stringley, to a new contract. So yeah, so something like that. And then as in describing Jayden Daniels, he said he's athletic and composed. He said the 19 penalties that he had last season was totally unacceptable, and he wants to work on getting that number down. And ultimately, he said that the sky's the limit for this team. So it seems that he's excited and motivated to be a Washington Commander. And coming here, you're going from a young guy in Stroud coming over to an even younger guy in Jayden Daniels. Of the same type core, and I think he's going to be super motivated to try to push this team to the next level. So in acquiring Tunsil, I'm not mad at that trade at all. Like we said on a couple of previous pods, when we got him, I was sitting around waiting on a corresponding move, and we was on the phone. I'm like, Reedie, that's the fucking corresponding move I'm talking about. I got hype. I'm like, fuck them picks. I don't care about I don't feel like we gave up too much to get him, and to get an elite Pro Bowler, to protect our young quarterback is key, and it's very exciting. Very exciting. I mean, your question, to answer your question in reference to feeling about free agency as a whole, I am seeing a lot of media outlets giving us an A minus, saying we're winning free agency, and I'm trying to kind of scale back and just kind of observe and really kind of do things a little bit more. But I know on the surface, as free agency went, I wasn't really, as far as free agency, I'm not saying it's just the trades, because I get that's part of it too. There are new acquisitions, but free agency itself, I don't necessarily think that we pursue some of the situations where it's better talent out there. We received the whole outlash on Instagram or threads, few comments on Facebook about our post about KJ Osborne. And it pretty much, that was posted definitely out of frustration, because it's like, what are we doing? Like, there are better options out here. I get that you need to fill the roster, and I get that, but you can fill the roster later. When let's address some upgrades. So I feel like, and when I said in my grade, I gave it a B minus. And I'm still standing on that. But a lot of people saying it an A. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that I agree with you on all of those things. I gave it a B. I gave it a solid B. I mean, Laremy Tunsil, and you trading for a Deebo Samuel, the Swiss Army knife, a guy that could do it everything, can come out the backfield, can line up at the wide receiver position. He probably could even line him up at the H-back position anywhere. One of the guys that people around this league said is hard to get down. They said it's like tackling a running back, when you tackle him, and things of that nature. Like, very excited for those two moves. But besides that, I mean, I'm become sold on Harris out of Will Harris at the safety that came from New Orleans. But other than that, I mean, we re-signed Zach excuse me, Zach Ertz, Bobby Wagner. We brought back Trestway. Things that you thought you would do. We gave John Bates a 3-year deal. He's a blocking tight end, but I would like to see us address those spots that are game changer positions. We did nothing in our running back room, and I felt that was a room that was lacking on our roster. Like, we need, and I've been on record saying this, we need a breakaway running back. Now, I don't know if their plan is to address this in the draft or not, but I mean, I'm not saying that there is a back out there in free agency that I would have went after, but I don't know if I would have brought back Rodriguez and I would have brought back McNichols. I would have brought somebody else in. You had other backs that are a little bit more explosive than them and that are known for, you could find a third or fourth running back around this league, that's kind of productive. And I thought, not taking no shade on those two backs, but I just thought they didn't give me enough of what I needed. You know what I mean? I'm on the record. I said Brian Robinson Jr., I love him to death, but he's not our number one back, in my opinion. To get us over the hump, to get us where we're trying to go, he is our number 2 back. Austin Eckler is what he is. He's a third down back at this stage of his career. call a spade a spade. He can be explosive in moments, but we need a guy that can take it on first to third down. Anywhere any time of day he could take it the distance from inside your own 20, from inside their 20, however, catch it out of the backfield. We need a guy similar to and I didn't appreciate him when he was here, a Chris Thompson type back that can do it all, that could do it in the pass game, and he can run the ball. When Chris Thompson was here, I thought maybe I didn't like the necessarily way he ran, but catching the ball out of the backfield, he kind of like could give you everything that you wanted and more. And like Wes said before, I'm saying, like, we need a high impact player on defense. We've been sitting around waiting for a signing at defensive end, and it never came. I mean, I don't know what the asking price is for these guys that are out there, but I trust in AP and believe in, but I don't know if I want to sit here and say today that I give this free agency an A. Maybe I'm being a little bit hard. Maybe it's a little bit of Ashburn syndrome still left over, but I'm not necessarily sold on what we've done in free agency to give it an A. It's a solid free agency. It's better than what we did last year, because last year we were sitting here like, what? We signed who? So, I mean, it's an upgrade on that aspect of it. But I just felt like from what they were saying, we were going to be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, I don't think it's an Ashburn syndrome, to be honest. I think definitely for me, and I'm sure you likely would agree, getting to that NFC championship, like whether people want to say we overachieved or not, like we were in the NFC championship, and I know we came off flat and all that, and that was a lot of it because we didn't match up talent wise, but also a lot of it because we hurt ourselves. And leaving that game, it's like I automatically want to upgrade in every aspect of this team possible. And like you said, bringing in Debo, yes, that's an upgrade over the other guys. But outside of Terry and Debo, all right, where's our next weapon? Is that going to come through the draft? Highly possible, but I feel like that there were other guys in free agency that could have helped this team out. And why we didn't make any moves there, I'm not sure. As far as addressing the O-line, I think they did address the O-line. They went and got traded for Tunsil. Part of the reason for trading for Tunsil is that you didn't want to wait on a left tackle to develop. Because you have that window. Jayden is in a 5-year window, 4 to 5 year window before we got to pay him. And 1 year is already down, so now you're at 3 to 4. And it probably will be smart to repay him early. I'm sure it's definitely gonna be smart to repay him early, so it'd be much cheaper. So you got to think from that aspect. So that's why I'm not mad at the Tunsil deal. We brought in some other depth. I definitely wanted to see us make a move for a guard. I know we brought in the guy from the Steelers. What was it, Nate? What's his name? Nate.
I know you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, Hedrick or something like that.
Herrig or some shit like that.
Herrig, yeah. We brought him in, and they saying that he was, pretty solid, but he was injured last year. So, he could be somebody that was sneaky that we grabbed, and he could, really help. We'll see. But, guys like Mekhi Becton, we even talked about possibly even considering Scherf. Not sure what his ticket is right now, but
I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Yeah, starting caliber guards, definitely wanted to see us upgrade on our offensive line for sure, because you got to match up against these defensive linemen out here. Exactly. In the tight end room, I guess we're waiting on Senate, to step up. Zach Ertz did a phenomenal job last year. And, I would hope that he can turn around and do that. But do I want to move forward solely relying on Ertz? No. So I hope Ben Senate steps it up. And then, of course, like we talked about on the defensive line, all off season thus far, we were talking about making a big splash to get us a DN. Myles Garrett didn't work out. The Trey Hendrickson thing is still a possibility, but it's looking like, with them 2 deals that they signed last night with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, it looked like they might have been able to, because especially when you're in the first year of an extension, that cap number is a lot less. So they might have been able to create enough cash to pay Hendrickson and keep, all 3 of them. So that's a wait and see thing. But I still think it's pass rushers out there that we could have considered. And I know the focus may be stopping the run, so I'm not going to bash the whole D-line thing because I'm hearing that, I thought that, what's the guy from San Francisco? Javon Kinlaw. I thought that he was more so a D tackle, but I'm hearing that he may be that elephant DN on the outside, kind of like how Dan Quinn likes to put D tackles at the end to help stop the run. So we'll see how that works out. You know what I mean? And I've and then listening and doing more research, kind of hear those things. So it kind of changed my opinion on that. That's fine, but we'll see. With Wise, they're saying, he can kind of set the edge a little bit better. Pull back Farrell. So I think, Will's focusing on trying to stop the run. We still need a pass rushing DN, and I don't think that we've gotten that yet. So whether it's Trey Henderson or not, or if we go look at I think Von Miller's still out there. I think some of the other guys, and I'm not saying I know Von Miller is up there in age, but it could be somebody to look at or just something. I just feel like we added pieces, but we didn't like fully upgrade the way I want. And another big question is cornerback.
I'm not to cut you off. I'm sorry. Before you go into that, I kind of just want to address your points that you made, all great points. And I want to address the comments on Instagram. Omerta Blitz said, bro, we got Debo and Tunsil with some solid pieces. I'm tripping. I'm definitely not tripping. If you hear what Z's saying, that's the sentiment that we're trying to address to y'all people out there. There are other moves that we could make that can make this team that much better. We have to stop being content because we went and got two guys. That makes you better. It makes you better to a certain extent, but does that get you over the top? Does that get you to beat a Philadelphia because you went out and got a Deebo Samuel, you got a Laremy Tunsil? If we're being honest and we go back and we look at the film, we really study the film from last year. Brandon Coleman did his job at left tackle. How many pressures did he give up? How many sacks did he allow? So Laremy Tunsil is a bonus. It wasn't necessarily a need. It's a bonus. It's probably a need to strengthen the offensive line as a whole because Sam Cosmi went down. So yeah, and we saw that the Philadelphia Eagles bullied us up front. If I'm just being honest, like Z made me change my whole outlook on this last year. Like, for so many years we've been, we're chasing the Cowboys. We're chasing the Cowboys. Fuck the Cowboys. The Cowboys ain't the standard. The standard is the Philadelphia Eagles who just hosted that Lombardi trophy. That's where we're trying to go, who blew us the fuck out in the NFC Championship game, then went on to blow the fuck out the two-time defending champions. So if we're going to get better, we have to make certain moves. We can't keep being content with some little shit. We got 4 years left. Jayden Daniels is on a 5-year, basically a 5-year contract, 4-year contract with the 5th-year option. They're going to give him the 5th-year option. So then you got to pay him. So, I get that there's other years down the road that we got to, bring in people, bring in this, bring in that, but we have to fill some of these holes. We couldn't stop a fucking nosebleed last year, if I'm being honest. So they're addressing that with trying to shore up the run game, but you still need somebody that can go have a meeting at the quarterback. You still need some people in the secondary that can cover. You still need faster linebackers. Now, all of what Bobby Wagner did, love him to death, he ain't running sideline to sideline like he used to. So again, Frankie Louvu, if you know football, they're sending him. He's our guy that's kind of simulating that pressure that we didn't have. We couldn't get a Miles Garrett. We couldn't get a Hendrickson as of yet. Hassan, all these other pass rushers that go to the quarterback, they're gone. So that's what we're saying when we're saying I give it a B. I'm not bashing the team. I love this team. If you look around, my basement is under construction. Why? Because I'm turning this shit into a fucking commander zone. So, it's not hate for me. Shit, I love this fucking team. I talk this shit all day, every day. My wife fucking pissed at me all of the time about commanders this, commanders that. Also, all I care about is the fucking commanders. But we got to be honest. And we got to call that shit down the middle. Call a spade a spade. It is what it is. But I just wanted to address that. But I'm not attacking you, bro, but I'm just saying, this is what I see in the comments. This is that and the third. We just get too content. If you look at these good teams, they got multiple threats, multiple weapons, 3, 4, 5 fucking weapons that can absolutely flat out do it. Look what they just got. Cooper Kupp just signed a deal, right? They went out and got Devontae Adams to pair him up with Puka Nacua. They're saying that they're the number one receiving core in the league duo. Chasing Higgins just re-signed this morning. So you think Terry and a lot of these teams, then they got the guy that his name starts with an I. He's on a rookie deal. Osavovich or whatever his name is.
Something like that.
That's their third receiver. We got Debo and Terry. Who the fuck else do we got? Are we banking on Noah Brown? Y'all sold on Noah Brown. Noah Brown is cool, but y'all really sold on him. Y'all sold on Luke McCaffrey, been playing wide receiver for all of almost 3 seasons. Like, this is what this is the shit that I be talking about, bro. Like, and I love y'all. I love everybody in the comments. I appreciate it. Tap in with us if you haven't. You know what I'm saying? It's a debate. It's a friendly debate. It's no shade. It's all love at the end of the day. But we got to stop sitting here just being content. Oh, we got him. Oh, we're going to win the championship. When the fuck we tasted the championship? I ain't tasted it since I was 6. And I don't even know if I was a fan at that time. But I'm sorry I went on a rant, but go ahead, Z.
No, much needed. I mean, you definitely touched on saying a lot of things that needed to be said because, like I say, man, I really left that NFC championship game. Like, I played that game with the mindset that, like, all right, we got to get better. We got to get better offensively in the trenches, defensively in the trenches. We need more weapons on the wide receiver room. We need better cornerbacks. We got to be able to defend. Like you said, teams was running all over us last year. And another thing is, a lot of them games we won game-winning situations, putting it all on Jayden's back. I don't want to live through that again this year. You know what I mean? We need to establish a defense that can actually stop some fucking body. So you're not putting all the weight on Jayden. You know what I mean? Yes, you got Terry McLaurin. Yes, you got Debo Samuel. Who's next? Whether it be a rookie, maybe it is to come. But at the end of the day, like, dog, let's get as many as fucking weapons as we can. I would be happy if we went all out and the cap is down to $1 and we're $1 over the cap just to get through the season. Or however, you know what I mean? Shit, after the offseason is over, you don't need cap money to be lingering throughout the season. Everybody else signing 1-year deals anyway. We're gonna have cap space next year too. But like, why not maximize and get as many weapons as possible? That's all I'm saying. So with all the backlash we got about the KJ Osborne thing, it ain't nothing about KJ personal. We've been around this team. We know you got to fill a roster. You know you got to have depth guys. But like, really, to be honest, how much depth is he?
Right.
If Terry go down or Debo go down, you want to rely on KJ Osborne and Noah, like you said, and Noah Brown. Like, don't get me wrong, these dudes are cool, but they're not stepping in and doing the same thing that the guys ahead of them was doing. A lot of these other teams, next man up, and these niggas be hooping. I want to establish that level.
Hooping.
So that's all we saying. Like,
keyword.
I don't want to miss a beat.
KJ Osborne came. He played what? He suited up for what? 8 games? Or how many games was he active last year?
No, he was active 1 game.
1 game out of 9. I think 8 or
snaps.
19 snaps. And this is who y'all banking on? KJ Osborne. Y'all didn't want to go out and bring in another receiver that was productive in his league. Y'all always talking about somebody washed. KJ Osborne's fucking washed, rinsed, recycled, and repeated. Probably 6 times over. Why not go get a Keenan Allen or a Stephon Diggs at this point? Why not? All they're going to do is bring in a better player. That's all I'm saying. They don't even have them just the names of free agency that I'm naming. But of course, there's other guys out there that's probably good. But go find one. Go find a diamond in the rough.
I see a comment here. Jimmy Jump 215 said he think Reedie and Zee forgot the plan.
No, I ain't forget it.
I ain't forget the plan. And actually, before when DQ first got here, he was talking about, in my mindset, I'm thinking like, I'm talking to Reedie. I'm like, man, this is gonna be, 2-3 year turnaround. And Dan Quinn said, day one, it's not a rebuild, it's a recalibrate. So Dan Quinn set the stance, and he showed us what a recalibrate was, how well we did with not all that great of talent. again, I would like a repeat of last year and getting that far and then, overcoming the Eagles actually. But I don't want to repeat of last year capping and just barely winning all these damn games. Like, we barely won a lot of games, y'all.
We won 5 games in the fucking last play of the game.
Like,
so
we
that go a
barely
different
win
way.
these games.
We ain't even in the alls. We don't even sniff the NFC Championship game.
We're not guaranteed to be back at 12-5. We got a harder schedule.
Facts.
Teams are going to scheme up against Jayden. So again, like, that's the mindset I'm saying. It ain't we forgot the plan. It's like, okay, we got that far. All right, cool. How do we get back there and oversee? I don't want to come back and then lose in the first round or the second round. That's an underachievement to me in year 2. It's NFC Championship or better. It's Super Bowl or nothing.
Facts.
And that should be the mentality.
Every year.
That's what I'm saying.
Last year was, I'm happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you for your service. We got here. We ain't never tasted the NFC Championship. This year should be win that motherfucker. Fuck that. Forget the plan. Fuck a 3-year plan. Win tomorrow. Like recalibration. I don't know what dictionary y'all been looking at, but it don't mean rebuild. Rebuild means break it down and slow pace your way up, coming up with to do the draft. Clearly, they don't give a fuck about these draft picks. He done brought in Lattimore. He done brought in Debo. He done brought in Tunsil. They don't care about the draft. If you got a chance to go out and get the guy in the comments said he agrees, but what I'm saying is if you got a chance to go out and bring in a dog, bring in a fucking dog. I could care less what it costs to pay him. They finagle the cap every year. Look at all of these teams. They have 10 million in cap space. Next thing you know, they got fucking 90 million in cap space because they done restructure some shit. You can do it. The cap is just a little number that they put out there to hold in front of us like it's a fucking toy or something. But they do what they want with that fucking cap. The cap is going to go up every year. What Chase got 140, 160? And Higgins got what, like 116 or some shit?
Yeah.
The cap gonna be 300 million next in a year or 2. So I mean, we keep worrying about the cap this, the cap that. Woo, 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 woo. Look what the 49ers did. They had all them motherfuckers, and they didn't necessarily get there and win their goal, but they got there. They were in the conversation. Like, that's all I'm saying. We got to put ourselves in that position to be in the conversation yearly. And if y'all keep thinking that Jayden Daniels is just going to do this shit by himself, you got another thing coming. You need complementary pieces around him to win. You got so many superstars on your team, but you need those glue guys. So I understand that. I understand shit like that. But a KJ Osborne, if we really being honest, what did he really do? If you go back and you look at his production the last 5 seasons, he had that 1 year that he was productive in Minnesota. I believe Case Keenum was the quarterback at that time. And that's all I'm saying. Like, no shade to KJ Osborne. He's a cool player. But I want dogs. I want fucking maniacs. I want dudes that's going to run through walls. I don't want to just be happy to be here. I'm on a good team and ride on somebody else's coattails.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Definitely want game changes. And I'm not, again, I'm scanning through the comments. They saying we on names and stuff like that. It ain't even about the names. I'm just saying simply that. And to be honest, I only really kind of went off about the KJ Osborne thing because it's like, all right, we had him here 8 weeks and he suited up 1 game. Like, it got to be somebody else out there.
Yeah, big names don't equal championship. I agree, Jimmy. I agree.
And I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
But
I'm just saying, like,
let me make this one point, and then I'm gonna shut up.
Go ahead.
Big names are big names. Why? To be a big name, you had to do what? You had to make some plays, right? You had to be somewhere in the spotlight and make a play, right? That's all I want. I want niggas that's gonna make plays. That's how you become a big name. Okay, yeah, you can find a small name, but KJ, what big plays did he make? If we being honest, when you put comments and shit, please back it up with facts. Because everything I say, I back it up with facts. And a coach that coached me back in the day, Coach Money, The eye in the sky never lies. Never lies. So do you put that film on, it's going to tell you everything you need to know about a player. I can tell you when he taking plays off. I can tell you when he don't know what the fuck he doing. I can tell you a lot about that film. Go back and look at it sometime. They got all 22 on what's the NFL pass, jank, whatever. You can see all of that. Don't look at no fucking highlights. The highlights are going to show you the good shit. Go look at all of them plays when they fucking up and they taking off. And that'll tell you about a player when that adversity hits. Go look at that.
Yeah. And again, of course, we know the reality is that you can offer these guys and they might not take the deal. It might be location, it might be preference, it might be all that. We get all that. We know we're not playing mad. We know that. Whoever made the comment about the names, tell them to show us the about names, tell us to show them the stats and production of the no-name people. That was from Wes. And they're saying right now, I think I heard earlier, we're sitting at about probably like 20-something million left in cap. So I expect the Terry McLaurin extension to come, especially after T. Higgins just got his bag. T. Higgins sitting around 30 million. I think that Terry's gonna come in a little bit more than that. So somewhere between him and Chase. So I projected last night like 35 maybe. How you thinking about that, Reedie?
Think about what? I'm sorry, I was responding on Instagram.
Terry contract can come in at Terry's per year salary probably fall around 35 in between.
Terry more. Terry, I mean, I don't keep. And I thought about this the other night when we said it on the Burgundy Breakdown with the good men Juan and John from Ballin' and Burgundy podcast, and Juan from from Juan Gotti Talking Sports. If y'all ain't already tapped in with us, tap in with us this Wednesday, 8:00. Each and every Wednesday, we do a collab with them about free agency, anything, coming up leading to the season. It's every week. We'll be doing that on Wednesday nights. Tapping with us on there. I was thinking about this to myself, and we talk about Higgins and we talk about Jamar Chase. And I'm not saying Terry's in the same bracket as a Jamar Chase or a Justin Jefferson, or some of them, or Devontae Adams, or these bigger names that got these bags. But we got to put some respect on Terry's name. And I was the guy that was on this program for years talking about Terry was a 1B. He wasn't this, he wasn't that. But Terry, really, like, Terry this year showed me the type of player that he really fucking is. Like, 30 million, 35, fucking give Terry more than that. He deserved that shit. He stayed 10 toes down. He was fucking with us when nobody else fucking with us. He ain't say a motherfucking word. He went out, he worked, he bust his fucking ass. Pay that man. Fuck 35 million. Get that nigga 40. Give him more. He deserved that shit. And I was the guy that always trying to penny pinch a motherfucker. But Terry, like, out of everybody, if we're gonna give a motherfucker the bag, give it to Terry. You know what I'm saying? That's my new view on that. I don't necessarily agree with trying to penny pinch Terry and keep trying to bring him down. He was an all-pro fucking receiver in this league, top 5 in this league, in my opinion, this past season. Pay him.
Yeah. I'm gonna go a little different with you on that. And Terry's definitely my guy, but I think you pay what the market is saying. So I don't think you give him 40. Terry's definitely the dog, but Jamar Chase is a dog too, and Jamar Chase put up some crazy numbers. So to get that 40. So I think
hold on.
Terry got to come in under him.
What did Chase get totally? What's his yearly value?
He got, his extension was 4-year 161. So he got basically 40.25.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, so I say, and what did Higgins get? I know he got 116 total.
He got 116 total, but it's up to, basically it equals out to up to 30 a year. It's not even a full 30. It's up to with incentives.
All right. So you got to pay him more than what Higgins got.
That's what I said, 35.
Yeah. So okay. So I stand correct. My bad. I wasn't tracking with the real numbers of what he got. But Terry has to get more than what Higgins got. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. I don't think you give him 40 though.
Yeah. So you maybe give Terry 37. that 30, 36 point something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I ain't a cap guy.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, of course, like we was moving into the cornerback. The Jonathan Jones signing, I do like. I think he's a tough guy. Someone I always liked when he was in New England. Smaller frame guy, but he just like Mikey. He plays pause. He plays much bigger than he actually is. So definitely not mad at that. And the Will Hurst, it seems like, from what I'm hearing and what I've been seeing, is that he can cover better than Chin. What I mean? Pause. He brings the hammer. He plays like a linebacker. What I mean? He can play in the slot. He's versatile. He came in cheaper. Came in cheaper than Chin. So I'm not mad at that one either. So we definitely made some good signings. Now, like the Eddie Goldman is to be determined. We'll kind of see what he is. A homer. Kinlaw say he was born in Northeast. He's a homer. So, shout out to the DC guys. Wise Jr. What I mean? Like we said earlier, they said that he brings versatility and experience. 8 seasons with New England. He had a career total of 34 sacks, but he's 6'5", 280. So, definitely somebody to kind of keep an eye on too. I think that JP was talking about how, he has spurts where he can actually put some pressure on some quarterbacks as well. And he'd be kind of like flying all over the field. So definitely somebody to keep an eye on there. But of the re-signings, Noah Brown, like we said, the Noah Brown signing was cool. McNichols was a little puzzling for me because I thought we would at least save it to address running back, which we could still do in the draft. Then after the draft, there will be other releases to come. So, it doesn't guarantee McNichols or Rodriguez a spot. But also with Rodriguez, he's a guy that for years has been moved on and off the practice squad. So we'll see if they actually provide him a more substantial roster spot this year, or if it will kind of be of the same, type thing. But definitely a good security guy for sure. Jalen Holmes was brought back last night. He played 11 games, and he played in the playoffs. He had 2 sacks for 14 combined tackles. So another project there. It's just, everything else to be determined. I think they were saying it's only like 4 more people left that remains free agents. I know Mike Davis was on that list. It was a couple of other guys too. I saw that. I saw that list. I had to try to pull it up before we did it, but I ain't get around to it. But yeah, what some of the comments are saying. We have the defensive personnel to run a 3-4 system instead of 4-3. I think they still gonna run a 4-3. They just gonna put a lot of the put Payne and Kinlaw at the ends a lot. Kind of put some, because Payne would kind of played a little bit of end last year as well to go against the run. But I wouldn't want to switch. I wouldn't want to make the switch over to a 3-4. But definitely having like that power D line in there to stop some of the runs will be fine. This free agency class was about stopping the big play. Make teams have to go drive for drive with 5 and see if they can hang. I see the vision. We'll see. But again, like I said, I don't want.
Who wants
I
to
just
be in
don't
that type
want
of
5
game
to kind
every
of.
week?
I don't want 5 to kind of go through that same cycle last year, put it all on his back.
Yeah.
At the end of these games, we gotta stop people and be able to have some cushions in these games. Like that shit was stressful. It was fun. It was stressful as hell. And imagine how stressful it probably was for them.
Yeah, you're going to be in situations. It's the National Football League. You're going to be in situations where you have to be the last team to score. It's just that competitive. But you got to get stops at other key moments, key times in the game. Like you can't keep waiting down until the fourth quarter. Like a stop in the first quarter could be pivotal for you. That could be a 8-point swing or a 7-point swing or something like that that can help you win the game in the fourth quarter. So you need guys that can make fucking plays on the defense. As much as good as the defense played last year, but there were times where the offense couldn't get going and they had to kind of keep us in the game. But you know, the key point of everything that we were saying is like we just need the better players. We need faster players that can run sideline to sideline and that can tackle. That's the biggest thing, tackling. We missed a lot of tackles last year. A lot of tackles. I mean, the secondary wasn't as bad as it was in years past. I mean, obviously, Mike Davis and Benjamin St-Juste were fucking atrocious as per. But, you know, it was a little bit better. And then, you know, 23 came in here. He wasn't what he was advertised to be. But I think with a full off season, him able to train, him able to get healthy because he wasn't healthy. Another year in a Joe Witt Jr. system, I think that, you know, he will be much improved. Much improved. And Jonathan Jones signing was a good signing. That dude be balling. Like, really, he be balling. Like, he ain't one of the top-notch names in the league, but he makes fucking plays consistently. Even at the point of attack, like punching the ball out, just the little subtle things. He may get beat, but he makes it up with, you know, he uses his hands. He reminds me of a Peanut Tillman in a sense. A little bit like just knocking balls away and stuff like that. That's the things that Benjamin St-Juste did not do. Benjamin St-Juste, for as bad as he wasn't, I always say this, he wasn't that bad. He was in position. He just couldn't, at the catch point, he couldn't rake through. He couldn't knock balls away. He never turned his head around at the last second. He just didn't have that instinct. But he was in phase. He was in their hip pocket. He covered him well, even if he got beat. But he just couldn't, for whatever reason, he couldn't do what he did.
Yeah. Well, John called him Saint Groupie. Yeah, St-Juste is out there, and with the Chargers, somebody else's problem.
And somebody in the comments said we needed a true linebacker. So there was another comment that said something about they didn't put Bobby Wagner in positions where he had to cover long. He was blitzing and things of that nature. But them on some of them plays, we got burnt. So most of the time when they were like in a cover two, middle linebacker has medium to deep, that deep middle. Bobby Wagner wasn't getting there sometimes. He wasn't getting enough depth. That's why I said we need another linebacker. So we could have went out and got a Dre Greenlaw. Just saying, or somebody similar to him. I don't want to keep naming names because they saying we keep talking about the big names. It's not the big names. It's just people that I know that can fucking play. If we go out and find a guy like that, I feel like that would have been a better move. Not a splash signing, but just a better linebacker, somebody that covered. But like Juan and John say, you know, we got McGee. And who's the other linebacker that was hurt last year? Z?
Hampton.
Yeah, Hampton, you know, they're so that they could come in and contribute. We will see.
I like McGee for sure. I definitely
will see. But there were just some glaring holes in our coverages and in our tackling. Our tackling was terrible. Terrible.
Mm-hmm. Chin missed a lot of tackles last year too, though. I mean, he had
as great as he played, he missed a lot of fucking tackles.
Yeah, he missed a lot of tackles. So, you know, they're saying Harris is a sure tackle, so we can see about that.
No, I went back and looked at some more highlights of him, and I thought when I see him live I think he made like 2 plays when we played them, but he will come up and he will hit your ass. I swear he will.
Yeah,
and that's what he said. That's what he said in his presser. Like he doesn't shy away from that physicality. And then they're talking about Luke McCaffrey in the comments too. I thought Luke McCaffrey should have done a little bit more than what he did last year, but I don't know what was happening in practice. I don't know all of it. Only thing I could go off of when I was out there at training camp and what I seen on the field on Sundays. So I don't know what he's doing in practice. Ben Sinnott is another one. Coming out, you thought Ben Sinnott was going to be utilized in all these different ways, a Kyle Juszczyk type of way, a George Kittle type of way, because that's what they said he had traits of these players. That was his comps. He can do it all type of tight end. Kind of compared to Chris Cooley in a sense. Could do it all, could block, could catch the ball down, and he was not fast at all. He was slow as shit. And he would make plays on your ass, make you look stupid. Chris Cooley. Mm-hmm. Shout out Chris Cooley. But they were saying that's what was Sinnett, he had what? He caught 2 passes last year? 3 passes, if that. I'll give him 5. I think it was less than that. McCaffrey caught 5 balls the whole year. No Diddy, no pun intended.
Best available free agents left. Stephon Diggs, Julian Blackmon, Amari Cooper, Asante Samuel Jr., who was the guy Reedie said he
said we
would
should
like
want
to
to
see
sign
us.
up.
You look into guard Tevin Jenkins, Cam Robinson, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Rasul Douglas, Tyler Lockett, Keenan Allen, another Reedie guy, J.K. Dobbins, Marcus Williams,
Another key.
Zadarius Smith. I mean, could be somebody to look at. Von Miller, Mike Hilton, Jameis Winston, Matt Judon, Justin Simmons, and Kendall Fuller. Now, them bottom two guys,
I say I like Justin Simmons. Now I
I
don't know
like
if I want to
Simmons
bring
too.
Kendall
We,
back.
we missed out on him last year, and like he publicly said he'd like to come here. I don't know if that lowered his price, without his asking price. If you admit that you want to go somewhere, you automatically, if you saying you want 10 million, they gonna offer you 8.
But I don't know. Is Will Hurst going to take over that for that? Was that their swap for Chin? I don't know.
Yeah. I think so.
Are you going to bring in
because they saying he's a linebacker? He's a linebacker, strong safety, slot corner type. Buffalo nickel. I don't see him being a free. He may not have a range. Simmons is more of a free, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still guys out there, and I mean, again, I know other moves can't happen, but it's just. And again, before we end this, we are not bashing our team. We just want to see us. We just have a little bit of higher expectations because we trying to win this fucking Super Bowl. Anything other than that, it's a disappointing season for me. And trust me, for me to be saying this, I'm the one. Trust the process, Reedie. Calm down, scale back a little bit, Reedie. And this year, it was me the one telling him, like, nah, man, we need to amp this shit up. It's our time to strike down. You know what I mean? I would love to be dominant for the next 2-3 years. I mean, and then when we get to Jayden, deal, we'll figure it out at that point. But shit, I mean, we could potentially be even more dominant. But I want to win now. So that's it.
Yeah, if you haven't already done so, if you're not a subscriber to the Reedie and Zee podcast on YouTube, please subscribe, like, share, subscribe. If you're watching on Instagram, please come on over to YouTube. We're trying to grow our YouTube. Not saying that our Instagram is booming or nothing like that, but it's a little bit, we're kind of like focusing more on YouTube these days. So a lot of our content and stuff will be over on YouTube, our long form videos, but you can also catch our clips and things of that nature on Instagram or Facebook or X or TikTok. Shout out to our sponsors, Saray's Catering, The Pie Guy, great clothing line. Who am I missing? That's it.
KB3 Events.
KB3 Events. And much more. Also, collaboration with Juan Gotti Talking Sports and John from the Ballin' and Burgundy podcast each and every Wednesday. Over on YouTube, we will post links in our story in Instagram so you guys will know at 8 p.m. ish time, no later than 8:30, depending on schedules, because people back in the office now, so I'll be back in the office, so got to make that travel. So but yeah, man, again, like, share, subscribe. We just want to make this as interactive as possible, so please feel free to shoot us a comment. We will shout you out in the comments, and we will engage back and forth with you. We try to get to each and every comment on Instagram, but sometimes it can be hard given work schedules and things of that nature. But we are in this together, Washington fans, and we are all trying to get to our ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl, bringing that Lombardi Trophy back to Washington. Until the next time we see you guys for Monday Command next week, I am Reedie, and
I'm Zee.
And we are Reedie and Zee, but we're going to holler at y'all, and we out.
It's the Reedie and Zee show. It's the Reedie and Zee show.